Welcome to our overview of cannabis. We have 5 separate modules. Topic 1 is an overview, cannabis the plant, cannabis and THC, cannabis and CBD, and last, comfort, healing, and wellness. Is that in the U.S., our cultural perceptions of the plant are widely varied. We define culture as attitudes, assumptions, and beliefs, and sometimes behavior. Attitudes towards the cannabis plant can range from adamant opposition to outrage that the subject has any opposition at all. At the end of these 5 learning modules, you will either reinforce your long-held perceptions or perhaps shift your thinking a bit. Either way, we hope this serves to facilitate greater common ground. At the end of this first topic, you should be able to recognize several keywords, recognize the historical context of the plant, identify differences between types of plants, begin to describe the attributes of THC and CBD, 2 of the most common cannabinoid molecules, and describe how this topic and the remaining 4 topics interrelate. Let's start by using this chart. Notice at the bottom that there are high THC through high CBD, representing the molecules. There are several words associated with each column. 3 of these columns represent the most likely medical uses. The 3 leftmost columns represent the most likely recreational uses and potential abuses. Legality varies from state to state. High THC products are illegal in most states and is still illegal federally. Low THC and high CBD, especially hemp products, are legal in most states. On the left-hand side, you'll notice several words and short definitions. A few of these, highlighted in dark brown, are the most commonly understood and used. At 420 Oil Drops, we use ingestible oil and tinctures, which are small bottles with droppers. Let's take a look at the historical context from ancient, the early modern, and the recently modern. Some historians believe that hemp has been used and cultivated for over 12,000 years. Certainly there's evidence from 5000 BC forward of usage in China, Central and South Asia, in Japan, and the Egyptians. Shown here in 1300, the Portuguese used hemp, all the way through the 1600s, where the Puritans first known to have cultivated hemp in the New World in New England in 1645. Several of the presidents are known to have farmed hemp. In the 1900s through today, cannabis has been criminalized and made illegal in several countries, beginning with South Africa in 1911, then in Jamaica. Canada criminalized cannabis in 1923, and the Marijuana Act of 1937 was passed in the United States. For those interested in the last decade, use some Google searches and do some research on your own. The primary point here is that even from ancient times, hemp and the cannabis plant have been useful in agriculture and other uses. In the late 1800s through the early 1900s, in the U.S., hemp and hemp products were used in medicines regularly. Let's turn our attention to 2 broad categories of the cannabis plant, sativa and indica. Sativa plants are tall, loosely branched, and have long, narrow leaves. Sometimes they're described as scraggly looking and can reach heights of 20 feet. The indica plants are comparatively short, they're denser, and sometimes they're described as short and bushy. Indica leaves are usually broad and full compared to sativa. They typically are better suited for growing indoors. Let's take a look at the 2 primary molecules that are of interest to us today. THC is generally the best known and known for its euphoric properties. THC stands for tetrahydrocannabinol. This molecule does have an euphoric effect, and it can also be used for medicinal purposes for relaxation, reduced pain, and increased appetite. The CBD molecule is increasingly becoming known. It stands for cannabidiol. Typically, it's considered to have a wider scope of potential medical applications than tetrahydrocannabinol. Take a look at the 2 words. Notice the similarity in the end part of each word. Cannabinol, cannabidiol. The THC molecule is tetrahydrocannabinol. CBD is cannabidiol. Thank you for participating in Cannabis 101 Topic 1. You should notice the relationship between this and the remaining topics and meet the 5 objectives as stated.